Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm featuring a Seiko 5. Now, I've always said to anyone looking to get into the world of mechanical watches, you can't go far wrong with one of these as your first watch. They offer really good value and they're a true mechanical watch with a proper in-house movement, if that's your thing. Now, this one is the very first time they've actually launched it with a GMT complication, and that is this orange hand here. What that means is that you can actually record 2 time zones at once, and it's quite a cool feature, and it still offers it at a respectable price point. I believe RIP on this is £410, but I dare say there's a bit of room for negotiation on that, I always find. But anyway, before I get started on the actual review, I've got to say a massive thank you to the team over at First Class Watches of Kenilworth for allowing me to review this watch. I've only just started working with them, but I was blown away by the fact they carry over, I think it's over 114 different brands and have over 5,000 watches in stock. Really impressive setup they have. I'm going to leave on the screen now the telephone number of who to contact if you want to. Rowland, he's a really nice guy. If you do, please mention the channel. If you go via another way, either I'll leave a link in the description to their website. Just please mention the channel when you do, because we're just starting to work together and it'd really help us to kind of grow together. So anyway, let's talk sizes. We're talking 39.5 millimeters by, I think it was 13.9 mil, the lug to lug length, so that's across the watch here. That's most important for how it wears on your wrist. That is 47.5, and the bracelet size is 20 millimeters. Now the dial's kind of quite interesting actually, but it's got a kind of textured, is that actually focusing? There we go. Why is it not focusing? There we go. Aha, now we're back. Sorry. Now, it's got a kind of textured feel to the dial there, the actual dial face. It's sort of textured. You do have a printed automatic GMT there, but what I like, and it's quite unusual, especially at this price point, you do have applied markers there. So it's really quite nice. The hour markers are not loomed, but the actual technically the hour markers on the side there, they are loomed, as too are all the hands. So you get a really good bit of loom on this watch, as one would expect from a Seiko. Now, even the Seiko logo, I believe, is that applied? Yep, it's applied on there as well. The hands themselves, these are brushed there. You've got the actual second hand is polished with its nice little kind of orange section there. But the GMT hand is full orange. So there's no way of getting these mixed up at a glance. You do have a date window at 3 o'clock position there. And it's also framed. So how you would actually use this watch. Let's say you're reading the standard time. So the standard time here would be, what's that, kind of like 7 minutes to the hour of 2. Now, for the second time zone using the GMT hand, you don't use these numbers. You use these numbers. So this would be coming on for like 6 minutes to 1400 hours. Now, if you know that, take 2 off it, and that's actually 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So this section of the dial is AM, and that section PM. So you've actually, that's how you work it out. And I'll show you, actually I can show you how you set that now. So being that it's Seiko 5, it doesn't have a screw down crown. You do have manual wind from the first position, and the second position, first click. If you turn it, let's go this way first, that's your date window there. So that corrects your date. Down here, if I now turn it clockwise, I can move this like that. So that's how you can actually move the hand on that one. And it's quite cool actually. It's got a few different sections how it goes across, but it is actually quite funky how they do that. So that's it there. And I think that's really quite a nice system way to doing it. The crystal on this watch is domed. It is a hardlex crystal, which you can, if you wanted to. The beauty with all the Seiko 5 ranges, generally you can modify them however you want, which I'll show you mine, which is on my wrist in a minute. The bezel itself, Does have this nice brushwork going on, and obviously the GMT there, non-rotational because of the GMT function. Now the actual body of the watch does have this kind of satinized finish going on there. It's nice and soft on top there. It is kind of, it's just finished well, you know. It's no frills and whistles, but it is finished well. You've got the radial brushwork going on here, so the brushing is coming in at different angles there. As you come around here, you just have a nice, simple crown. One thing I should say about the body of the watch, you do have what's called drilled lugs. It makes it easier for swapping out a bracelet if you did desire to do that. Now, as you turn the watch round, you can see the movement back there. I always like a display case back because simple fact is you can see if there's a problem. Also, generally, if there's anything loose or whatever. And so you can actually see the rotor. That's what gives it the powers up the mainspring there. Now, the movement in this is the 4R34. I put this on the time grapher and I think it was actually doing something like -1 or 2 seconds. It was pretty impressive, really. I did notice as the amplitude went down, it did start to go, it was going around about +5, +6. But that, you know, it's a starter watch. You can regulate these and get decent time out of them, no problem at all. And because they have a really nice winding system called Magic Paw, it's very efficient when it comes to winding the mainspring from use of just being on your wrist. It's got 41 hours of power reserve and 24 joules to it. Now, it is actually water resistant to 100 meters. You don't have a screw down crown, but it still is water resistant, so that's all good. Let me show you it on my wrist and you get an idea how it looks. Now, just to show here, I'm actually wearing one of my Seiko 5, and this one here I think is lovely. I brought this a few years ago and modified it. So I just wanted something I could play with and swap round, and that is part of the Seiko 5 range, albeit with a different hand, different crystal, different bezel insert, different bezel, and a different strap. But that's what I mean. That is the beauty of these watches. You can play around with them all you want. Bob is actually wearing an Orient. Now, I have never featured this brand before. I knew about the brand, but I've never featured them. So anyway, I'll do a quick review of that later on, and maybe even a comparison. They are the same price. Now, my wrist size is 7¼ inches. And there you go on my wrist. It looks really nice. I should have pointed out actually the bracelet itself does seem okay. I think it's just a split pin affair. The actual clasp is just a stamped one with just a fold over and double click system there. You know, you can swap these out. That's the beauty of it. If you go to somewhere like Strapcode, you can easily buy new bracelets for this. But to be fair, it's actually not a bad bracelet for the price. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the review, and most importantly, stay safe out there. Take care.